thanks for joining me again. My name is Brenda Demers, and today I just wanted to talk about parenting. How has it been for you guys who are parents? You friends of mine who are parents, who have kids, more than one, two, or even just one child. How has the journey been for you? And for those of you, my followers, my friends, my fans who do not have kids yet, maybe this video might also be helpful to you. I will share a few things that I wish I knew before I became a parent. One thing for sure, parenting is hard. Parenting is hard, and I don't think anybody told me that. But then, hey, it's worth it, and it's fun. So it has so many great things about it, but it's not an easy journey. I have two children. One is 10, one is 4. The older one will be 11 soon, in a couple months. The younger one will be 5 next month. So the 2 boys. So I'll share some of my parenting blues. So we all know, like, especially this year and last year, I think we've lost some patience here and there as parents. It's been hard on both the children and the parents as well. People working from home, kids studying from home. So you found yourself having to juggle so many different things, like being a mother, being a teacher, being a supervisor, and being an employee, or being, you know, doing your work. As part of your job. So you've had to wear so many different hats, and I have to say it's been challenging. It's been challenging a lot, but hey, we're not gonna sit here and complain the whole time. But I just thought I would share a few things with you guys that I'm finding challenging to me as a parent, in especially 21st century. And I want to hear from you guys. How are you doing it? What are you doing? What's working for you? Are you like me, where some days you're like, I'm losing it? Where some days you're like, I don't think I can take this anymore. And then some days you're like, oh, this is the best thing ever. So is anybody out there like me? Let's chat. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk. I'll be willing to have different parents on my channel talking about different kinds of, that's it, disciplining ways, controlling video games, gadgets overall. How are you guys doing it? I feel like I'm so stuck in this millennial thing where kids' lives rotate around computers, video games, like everything, even eating dinner. They have to be watching something. When they're not, it's like they're not focused. How did we get here? I mean, we bought the gadgets. Why did we end up buying the gadgets? My husband did. But anyway, so we all of us as parents believe we're doing the right things for our children. And I applaud you guys. You are doing a fantastic job. It's not an easy journey. It's not an easy thing being a parent. We're grateful to God for giving us babies, kids, but it's a job. It's a full-time job, and sometimes I wish I had my mom to ask her for guidance here and there. But I'm grateful to have some mother figures in my life too, who are not my real parents, but I look at them and I seek advice from them. I am thankful for Facebook groups, you know, where random parents talk about all these things, and community coming together to help out in any other mothers or fathers or parents who might be going through different challenges. And trust me, it's not always just you. Another person, other people are going through the same or have gone through the same. So when you share things out, if it gets too hard for you to contain to yourself, talk to somebody. Ask how they've done it, or if it's something they've ever been through, and you'll be surprised what kind of advice you're going to get. It's a whole bunch of people who will know what you're talking about. So it's not, you're not alone in this journey as a parent. There's so many people out there who are going through exactly what you're going through or have gone through it. So be comforted. Do not die in silence. Talk to somebody. Open up to anybody. Seek for advice, okay? So yesterday, my son, my younger one, was not happy with me, and it's because I told him that he had only an hour on his video games or on his tablet. I don't know what he was watching. He was watching some YouTube. No, he was watching a show, and I told him he had strictly 1 hour and then he'll be done. So I said, I don't want to remind you because I don't like reminding you. That means you're not listening and you're not respecting my word. So 10 minutes after the hour, I looked at him again and he was still on his tablet. I told him, what did I tell you to do? He said, to switch off my tablet. Okay, so you're still on it. So did you listen to me? He said, no, I didn't. Okay, can you switch it off now, please? He did. And then he went, of course, started mopping over the other side, sat on the floor, and I ignored him. He kept making some noises to get my attention, to get our attention, you know, noises of like, the noises that he knows are going to annoy us. We both ignored him until he felt he wasn't being heard. So he walked to me and kept poking me because I was folding my laundry. This is like 7:30 p.m. We're done with our dinner and everything. I was sitting downtime, maybe watch a show or two and talk to the kids and stuff. So he came and started poking me. I was like, okay, why are you poking me? And he said, Mom, because you're a bad mommy. I was like, oh, really? How come? What made you say that? He's like, well, you yelled at me. I was like, how did I yell at you? When did I yell at you? You know, so he said, you told me to switch off my tablet. Well, actions have consequences. So because you did not listen, you're going to get punished for it. Okay? So I'm sorry, but that's how it is. Those are the rules. So and then he started crying. He said, you're not even my friend anymore. This is a kid who tells me I'm his best friend every single day, like 1,000 times. Whenever he can, he'll come to me and tell me his best friend. But at this moment, I was not his best friend, and I was a bad mommy. So I feel like I didn't know what exactly to say to him. I just said, well, too bad. I'm sorry. That's okay. One day, one time, if you listen to your bad mommy, then she will not yell at you. She will not, punish you. So please go upstairs, put your pajamas on, get into your daily routine. How we do it? Pajamas, brush your teeth, get settled for bed, okay? So he went, and then later he came back before he went to bed to apologize, to say he was sorry. And probably his dad told him to go and say sorry, I don't know, but he came and said, I'm sorry. I was like, okay, you're fine. Good night, love you. So how do you guys punish your children? Am I doing the wrong things? Kids not supposed to be punished. I was punished growing up. Everybody in my village raised me. That's how in Africa, well, I'm not sure if it's everywhere in Africa, but in Uganda, like, all the neighbors were your parents. Like, you felt like you were being watched, like, from everywhere. Every angle you walked, every move you took, there was always somebody there. So it kind of kept you grounded. It kind of kept you knowing that you have to do the right thing all the time. And guess what? If a neighbor punished you or found you doing the wrong thing, you got punished. Whichever way he did, you could not even come back and tell your mother or your parents that, hey, so-and-so punished me. One, your parents are going to ask you, what were you doing? How did you do? Like, how come they got to do that? So, but it helped us. It helped us to know that, wherever you are, there is an eye out for you. Our kids do not have that, because in the Western world where we are now, people have become so protective of their families, protective of their children. And I think, I don't know how we got here, but you will find that it's really hard to tell another child who is not your child that, hey, you should not be doing that. A child might even turn around and tell you, who are you to tell me? So this is what I've told my kids. If you're out there, let's say my neighbors find you doing something wrong, I have told them. I'm lying, by the way. I haven't told them. Or some I have told them. If you find my child ever doing this or using inappropriate language out there, please let me know. Or you can tell him that's not acceptable. You're helping me. So you're parenting for me. I feel like that's how it should be done. So my kids know that once they leave my house, if they're outside, they're playing, the neighbors are watching them. And I talk to my neighbors. So I've told all of them, those close to me, my child, if you ever want to help me out, if you find him doing the wrong thing, please let me know if you don't feel comfortable punishing him. Or you can talk to him and say, hey, that was wrong. Whatever you just said or whatever you just did, I'm going to talk to your parents. But just have it from me, you are free to punish my child if they're not doing the right thing when they're outside my house. So that helps me, that I feel like that's something we lack in the Western world. Having lived in Uganda and having lived here now in the US, I feel like it's hard to raise a child in America. It's hard. I feel like teenagers can just wake up and tell somebody, hey, tell their parents that you are not allowed to yell at me, or they could even call the police on you. I've watched the news, I've heard stories where kids would just call the police on their parents. And why? Because, maybe you got really angry and gave a kid a slap on his butt. No, you touched that child. So those kids could be taken away from you. Child service shows up. Is it making it harder for people to raise their children in America, for example? So do you find yourself in a position where you're scared that your child is going to hate you for maybe the ways you're trying to raise him, how you are trying to do the right things for him, but he doesn't see them as the right things. He doesn't see the bigger future that you're trying to put up for him. Do you feel like your child is going to hate you or resent you? What do you do? How are we going to help ourselves? How do you deal with that? I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear from other parents who have raised kids, teenagers, and I would really, really appreciate your advice here. Because I feel like video games are taking over my kids. And I cannot even say, I find myself in a position where if I tell them to get off those video games, then what are they going to do? They're going to sit around and whine, either make noises or start screaming so that they can annoy me. And so maybe I can send them to go back to the video games so they can be entertained there, to give me space, to give me peace. But then I'm losing in the end because I do not want them on video games. And then they'll say they can't go outside to play because it's cold. That's it, winter time. Or they can't go anywhere because of COVID. So I feel like I am just stuck. I feel like I'm losing and losing and losing. I win, lose, lose, lose with my children, So how are you guys doing it? I would really, really love to hear from you. Please send me a message, comments. I would love that. I would love us to have conversations. I would love to have interviews with some of you parents who are willing to share your experiences, parents who have had teenagers, like how have you done it? You know, what is working for you? What did you have to go through until to get to a point where, okay, this is working? You know, what can you share with the rest of us, you know, who are still learning parents or parents to be? But in the end, I'll tell you guys, don't be too hard on yourself. You know, whatever you're doing the right thing. As a parent, you're doing a fantastic job. So be proud of yourself and be grateful for your kids. They, you know what? They will love you at the end of the day. Hopefully, we pray, right? And you always love your kids. So it's the best love ever, you know. So for those of you who don't have kids yet, be prepared that you're gonna have if you're trying to have a baby or you're pregnant right now, when that baby comes, it's gonna be the best love of your life. You know, having brought that little human into the world is gonna be such a blessing. It's gonna be filled, your heart is gonna be filled with so much love for that baby. So be prepared and have fun with it. But I would like to hear it. Let's live in the moment. When you feel you're so stuck, what I do is I go for a drive. You know, like if I have somebody at home who can be with the kids, I just go. I just like drive around randomly, maybe go window shopping or go to a store, look around, you know, stuff, just to get out of the house, get out of that moment where you are getting so frustrated with your efforts and you feel like you could do something really bad. Withdraw immediately, maybe go listen to some music, go to your bedroom and knock. Sometimes I hide in the toilet. But then I remember when my babies were so young, they would still go and knock on the door because they would know I'm in there. And I'm like, what do you want? I'm just trying to get my space. But they'll still sit outside the bathroom door. So find a space where you can recoup, you know, where you can regroup yourself and come out stronger, because you don't want your children to see all those frustrations on your face, or you don't want to stay long in that heated moment, okay? Otherwise, thanks guys, take care, good luck in your parenting. Let me know, share some views with me. I would love to hear how you guys are doing it, what challenges are you having, you know, how have you been able to succeed? I would love to hear that. Keep watching my shows and subscribe if you haven't. Please like, put the bell on so that every time I share a video, you get a notification so you can check my videos out. If this content is worth it for you, please share with any of your other friends, any of your other parents, and you'll be helping my channel to grow, okay? You take care, stay blessed, stay healthy. I'll talk to you another time. Bye-bye.